Hi everyone, it's Janine. It's been quite a while since my last vlog post. That wasn't intentional. Life just got really busy in March. I was planning to show you a video of fabric shopping in my hometown in Calgary in Canada, and I did record a video, but because I'm not a videographer, it literally made me sick to look at it because I just spin the camera around. I'm going to be back in Calgary in a couple of weeks, so I'll try it again then, and I will definitely improve my videography by then. So this is just going to be a quick video with an update on some things that I've made and what I'm planning to make in April. In March, I did not make much because I was gone 2 weekends and then had house guests for about 12 days, which doesn't leave a lot of time for sewing. One thing that I did make is this Cashmerette Springfield top. This is the second version I've made, and I'll just insert a video of me walking around in it. This is a super pattern. I do not need to do a single adjustment to it, which is why I love the Cashmerette patterns. And the fabric that I used is a rayon that I picked up at Fabricland in Calgary. I also bought another similar rayon. Chances are good I will use that to make another one of these tops because I just think it's perfect to wear to work once it starts to heat up here in Atlanta. So this is the Cashmerette Springfield. Super fast. Highly recommend this pattern, especially if you're someone who has to do an FBA. Hang on just a second and I'm going to show you standing up and describe the other things that I made in the last month. This is the Cashmerette Springfield. This particular version has a centerpiece in the back to give it some shaping. The other version has a band, and that version isn't quite as wide at the hips, but this just hangs really nicely. No gaping, no adjustments, which makes it a really fun and easy make. This is the closet case Kalle. And I made this in a rayon from Cotton and Steel that I picked up last year at the Cotton and Steel designer sale. So I got a great deal on this. It's only 45 inches wide, so I'd hung on to it for a while. I was originally planning to make a dress. And then when I pulled out the Kalle, I realized this would be so cute in a top with white or with black. Perfect spring outfit, and that's actually why I made this, was for a spring fling event. I cut a straight large on this. I did not intentionally make any adjustments. That's not to say there weren't adjustments, but they weren't intentional. I didn't read the instructions well, and I screwed up the burrito method on the back yoke. So I wound up losing about 3/8 of an inch at the top, which meant I had to alter the neck and the sleeve bands. If I read carefully, I would not have had that problem. The other thing that I didn't particularly love is that, let's see if I can show you this. They recommend that you cut bias and apply bias and then turn the hem. And that's great, but the bias that they have you cut is only about 7/8 of an inch wide. And then if you do a 5/8 inch seam, it doesn't really work. So I kind of messed around and did my own method of doing this, and it turned out well. And I do think that the bias is a good idea because if you look at the shape of this hem, you want it to look pretty smooth, and if you apply the bias, it does give you some parameters to work with. But this fabric was wonderful to work with. It feels really good. This has actually just been washed, and you can see it presses up well. So happy with this one. I loved it so much. I came home that afternoon and I made a second. Okay, I loved that last version until I made this version. Again, this is the Kalle, and I made this one from a border print. So you can see that I made the front and the back the same length to take advantage of the border print. I think it's really cute with white pants. I'm just going to sit down and tell you a little bit more about this one. So on the day that I wore the first version of the Kalle, I went to an ASG event and Linda Lee was the speaker. Linda showed us a lot of great garments that she'd made, gave us some tips, and one of the garments that she showed to us was a border print. It was a tunic, and she said, if you look at border prints on the bolts, a lot of the times the border print runs vertically, so you have to try and figure out how to use it in a garment. And she gave us permission to turn the fabric cross-grain if it was a woven so that you could take advantage of a border print. As it turned out, I had this in my stash at home because I just loved the colors and I loved the lemons. And as soon as I got home that day, I just decided that I had to make this top and take advantage of the border print. So all I did was trace out the shape of the front onto the back and even them out so I could take advantage of this border print. On this particular version, I did not screw up the burrito method on the back yoke, so it worked perfectly. And I did not use the bias binding on the hem. Instead, I just took a deep breath, spent about an hour or 45 minutes pressing up the lower edge properly and then stitching it. But this is a little loud, but honestly, I love this and I will wear this so much this summer. I have another piece of border print in my stash and I may use it now to make up a shift dress or something. Now that I have permission from Linda Lee to use a border print so that I can take the most advantage of it. First time I made the Kalle, I spent several hours on it. The second time I had it done so much more quickly. I do see plenty more of these in the future. And I even have a fabric that I picked up last summer that's a voile, a little bit lighter weight, and I think that I will make another one of these to wear with probably a black skirt in the summer. So that's all I made in the whole month of March. But that's pretty good considering I really had no time at all. So now I am planning for April, and I'm going to endeavor to enter the Pattern Review Mini Wardrobe Contest, which is 3 tops and 2 bottoms. Tops, there may be another one of these. However, I picked up 2 pieces of fabric at Fabric Mart from the April flyer, and one is a stretch bottom weight in a floral that looks an awful lot like a Talbot skirt. So I'm going to make a skirt out of that, and then I got a poppy colored jersey to go with it. So I will probably make a top to go with the skirt. And then I picked up a navy blue knit, just a basic knit. And I think what I'm going to do is take my favorite Dirndl Plantain, and to make it a little bit different, I think I'm going to cut it about empire length and just seam it there to give it a little bit of shape and a little bit of interest. So it'll still be a T&T, but I'm trying to switch it up and be a little more creative for a change. My serger is in the shop having its first ever tune-up. I bought it in 2004 and I've used it a fair bit, it's in having its first tune-up, so I won't have that for about the next couple of weeks. So I'll probably use my cover stitch for the seaming that I do on that top. I actually have one thing cut out. Just a second here. Okay, so I should go back. This is the closet case Kalle. I have cut out Berta 6334, the jacket with the peplum. And I've cut that in a denim look double weight, and that's cut out, and I'm going to start sewing that tonight. I think it'll be really simple. It'll be a nice weight to wear to work when the air conditioning is turned up a little bit too high, and it looks like it'll be pretty simple. This particular Berta pattern maxes out at a 44, which is going to be a little tight for me. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but what I did is I cut a little bit more around the edges of the seam allowance, except at the front where the zipper is, and I'm just going to sew a smaller seam allowance, and we'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, no big deal. It wasn't an expensive piece of fabric. If it does work, great. And again, because the serger is out, I'm planning to cover stitch all of the seams to make them look pretty. So that is before the pattern review contest starts, because you're not allowed to sew for that till the 15th of April. I'm not positive I'll enter the wardrobe contest. I may not. If I do, I have to work on pants. I've got fabric to make 2 pairs of summer weight pants. If I don't do that, then I'm going to jump in and make my own Mary Quant mini dress. If you have not seen this pattern, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, that always has fiber arts, garments, great displays. They are celebrating Mary Quant right now, and they have released a free digital pattern for a Mary Quant inspired mini dress. You can download the pattern in US or in UK sizing, and they tell you how to change the dress so that it suits you. These are really cute little dresses, and one of the inspired by pictures that I saw was striped. So I am thinking about making the long sleeve version with the pussy bow in a striped crepe that I have on order from Fabric Mart. Of course, I'll make it longer because I don't wear mini dresses anymore. But this is a really fun thing, and I will post the link for this down below in the notes. I don't know how long the pattern will be available. It could be that it's there forever, but cute little summer dresses. Free pattern, you can't complain. And it looks like the instructions are really good. These are already just starting to appear on Instagram. So if you want to make yourself even a tunic, you don't have to make a dress, but that little keyhole neckline is awfully cute. So that plus the wardrobe contest, and then I've promised myself I'm going to make a new bag for carrying my lunch and my paper to work. But that's it. April is going to kind of be a sewing month because in May I'm traveling again. I'm going to go see my mom for Mother's Day. And then all of a sudden it's going to be hotter than Hades. So I don't know how much I'll sew. That's all I have planned. But before I go, as I mentioned last month, I got some bonus patterns from Vogue, and I'm going to give another one away today. Today I am giving away Vogue 9348. This is in sizes large through double XL. This makes up the tunic that I showed you in my last month's video. Cute, easy to work with. I really very much like this. I'll probably make another one. So if you're interested in free Vogue 9348, it's an easy pattern. The actual description is pullover top with stand-up collar and neck facings, features sleeve bands, cut on the cross grain, and bias overlay option. If you're interested in this, please indicate your interest below by, let's say, April 30th. And then I will randomly select someone, and I'll be happy to mail this pattern to you wherever you are in the world. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Happy April. I will see you soon.